It is the odds couple, and last week I went 4-0 after the abysmal week before. I rebounded, and I'm 4-0 last week. Plus, Ohio State won the championship, so I'm a happy girl. But someone didn't want that to be my background, so I have, in honor of this week and the challenges that the Bills face, Mahomes and the refs. The heads are cut off. You can't see them making out, but.
And I'm the sixth solo today, so we have the odds couple. We have the sixth solo, so you're going to hear me hacking and coughing, and every time Christina makes me laugh, it's going to get really bad because that's what I do when I laugh and I cough. And I went 3-1, which I still think I'm up one game now because you gained a game on me, and I was up 2, so we're going with that. And we only have, 2 more games left, right? Or 3 more games, 2 more weeks, 3 more games.
Well, yeah, are we going to bet on the Pro Bowl? I guess we can.
Super Bowl is what I meant, sorry.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
2 more weeks. This week and then next week. Or
no more college. Yep, and now that Ohio State, which I told you earlier, I'll forget that they won it in about a month, so.
And I'll keep reminding you.
That's fair.
So,
anybody want some Pedialyte instead of beer? Like you said, I got my Pedialyte, so we're just going to be going with Pedialyte today.
So this week we got big games. Jaden Daniels shocked the world with his play this postseason. I think I'm going to jump on your bandwagon for my first pick, and I'm going to take the Commanders +6. Because, we're going to ride it until they lose.
Yeah, and they've been underdog the last 2 weeks. I'm riding that same train with you. 2 weeks ago, I actually sprinkled some money on the money line when they were underdogs, and I was dumb. I should have done the same thing last week because I wish I took the points, but if I would have sprinkled some money on the money line, I would have picked up some more money. So I may ride that train 3 weeks in a row and take this points and throw some money on the money line. Why not? We've hit it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, plus we don't know how injured Jalen Hurts is from that knee injury last game that they almost lost to the Rams. I actually thought the Rams were going to squeak it out at the end. And this will be the 3rd time that they're playing. It's really, really tough for anyone to win 3 games in a row. So in a season, not that they may win, but they'll probably keep it a lot closer than they have.
Yeah.
And both are used to cold weather. So depending on the weather. And Jaden Daniels, he practices with virtual reality. So he actually has a program, I guess, that does in-game speed. So he can look at the defense and just see it, have those mental reps of seeing the defense come at him on how to make those decisions and what decisions he should make, what to anticipate, which means a lot of other quarterbacks are probably going to start being the same way, and they're probably going to incorporate that in college. So, which would be good because when you drop down from like the top 5 quarterbacks, the drop is huge. In quarterback play. So hopefully this will make quarterback play even better.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be interesting. I saw Daniel Snyder, who's not real happy right now because of their team is winning. So there's some news articles about there that he is not happy at all, that he actually threatened to cancel the sale of the team at the last minute. But I don't know that he can really do that. But it was an interesting article that the former owner was like, you guys all suck. You're winning now.
Did they forced him to sell, right? Kind of like they did with what's his name of the Clippers.
Yeah. I call that imminent domain of an NFL team.
Yeah, but when you're like, you have a set of rules in the Billionaires Club. You got to at least be a nice billionaire to some degree.
You can't tarnish the reputation of the league. That's for sure. There are some.
Especially if you don't, like he had issues. So we'll just leave it there.
For sure.
So we're both.
My second pick on that one, because I'm rolling everything in that game, I think. So my second pick on that one is going to be the Redskins over. I think we're both on that train and we're riding that bus. What was that, like 47 and a half?
47. 47.
So I think we're actually no. I take that back. I'm not riding the over on that. You're taking the over on
I'm
that.
taking the over.
Yeah, I'm going to take Jaden Daniels with over 10.5 rushes in the prop bet. Sorry about that. So talk to us about your over there, my friend.
So I'm taking the over for the reasons like they know each other. The defenses, to me, aren't the most stellar defenses. And it's going to take a lot to slow down the Commanders, I think, offensively. After talking about Jaden Daniels and what he does to prepare for the game. So we'll see. And I look forward to really good games. And then my third pick, I am actually don't want to jinx the Bills, so I'm going to apply my same rule to the Ohio State. So I'm not going to bet who wins. I am going to take the over in that game as well, because the Bills, I think, will be able to light it up. And so I'm going to take the over in that, and that's 48.5. Even though
I'm with you on
the weather and it doesn't look like it's going to snow. So that would be why we're taking that. Even though I think they both can score in the snow because they're both used to it. So we got 4 cold weather teams that are used to the weather. So I don't think the weather is going to be as much of a factor unless it's like slush and lightning.
Yeah, and at least the little icons that I see don't show any kind of moisture, but you know this is weathermen, and you never know what the day of the game is going to look like. But I like the over there, too. I think both, I don't know the Bills. The Bills haven't played that well. I mean, if they've lost their games, they've lost them on the road. I think it'll be a tough game for them. I don't think I can take the Bills, so I'm going to take the over on that game. And I'm going to use the same theory. The same theory they use for Washington is you can hate Kansas City all you want, but all they do is win. And what they've won 3 Super Bowls, which means how many playoffs in a row have they won? I don't know, 10, 12, I don't know how many ever games make up those 3 years. You can't really doubt that record. They just win. So I'm taking Kansas City -2.
This is where I wish Tom Brady was still in the league, because Tom Brady is the actual GOAT. And yes, he was the one who would beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl and in the AFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl. So he was the Mahomes kryptonite, because he actually doesn't just rely on talent. He actually relies on thought process. And
I'm just going with dummy trends. Trends are Washington is rolling them, and Kansas City has rolled for 3 years
you're
now.
taking Kansas City -2 then?
Yeah, -2, and then I'm taking the over with you on that as well. So,
my last pick then will be, it's going to be a prop bet in this game. It's going to be Josh Allen with at least 1 rushing touchdown. So I think he's good for that. I think he's done that in multiple games. I don't see this being any different. There might be a point in time where he has to be Superman, so look to him to just hold on to the ball. In my opinion, he or Lamar should be MVP. I'm leaning Josh Allen. So that would be my 4th pick, would be the Josh Allen that. And the only reason I don't want to pick it too, because I also know that the Bills have the same trouble as everybody else in the league, as they've got to play the refs too. Hopefully it won't be the same set of refs that it was last week, which I don't think it is. I think they announced it's a different set of refs. Ones who are not as pro Kansas City. So hopefully that works, because I am so over the flopping of Mahomes.
I hadn't jumped on that train in 3 years, and I finally jumped on that bandwagon this last week. I was actually a little bit annoyed about, could have been because I bet the Texans, so that might have put a little extra edge on my annoyedness, but it was pretty clearly evident that those calls were very favored towards Kansas City on the well, I laughed because I posted on my Facebook page when Goff got his damn body souffled into the ground, and there was no penalty on that. And then 2 Texans basically collide into each other like London bridges with Kelsey with the Mahomes underneath the bridge, and it's like, I saw that was violence that would hit, but nobody even touched Mahomes. So, but again.
And the one where they called on, I think it was on Will Anderson again, and he barely touched him, and they're like, and even the announcers, they were like, Troy Aikman was like, and well, it's really, really not, but okay. They're not picking up the flag. I guess we're rolling with it. And unfortunately, those calls, like Kansas City does get penalties, but the difference is the penalties are more timely when it benefits Kansas City, and they're more egregious, like phantom pass interference calls or defensive holding to give them an automatic first down. Something that will change that drive, and it'll be a stop drive for the other team, and then the refs will somehow extend it. And it's happened against the Ravens. It's happened against the Bengals, Kansas. I mean, it's happened all season long, and it's happened twice against the Texans. The Texans, the fumble in the regular season that by Mahomes that was run back for a touchdown that turned into an incomplete pass on top of roughing the passer. So not only was it a double whammy that they got the turnover taken away and the score, now you give Kansas City another first down, which led to another Kansas City score.
Agreed. Yeah, it's one thing to call Kansas City for a 5-yard false start on first down. It's another when it's 3rd and 19 for Kansas City, and you pick up a fumble for a return and get nothing, and a first down.
It turns into a first down for Kansas City because they're blocking the passer call. And when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, stop. At some point, you have to stop. Because also with that, they did something similar with, what's his name? The Rams, Stafford, where I swear to God, that was a fumble by Stafford that they called a forward pass, but they didn't call roughing the passer, and he was clever. I was like, wouldn't that be roughing the passer? And Lamar last week against the Bills got tackled, I think 2 or 3 times out of bounds. There were a couple of hits that were questionable on Josh Allen. There was a couple of hits on CJ Stroud that should have been called roughing the passer. And that one in Goff definitely was roughing the passer. And he wasn't right after that throw. He was not right since.
No, he got put into the ground in a heavy way.
Yeah. So sometimes it's like, does Kansas City get more favorable calls? They just get more timely calls, and they're more egregious. So it's disgusting.
Well, it's because it's almost always on the quarterback, right? And so anything that is a foul on the quarterback is always
especially
on the
when you have
it's going to be a 15-yarder period in the defense center. I don't know that there's any other penalties.
Right, and then when you have the ref's mic picking up Mahomes, telling them, "Hey, can you let me know when the defender's a little close?" It's like, no, bro, you got to figure out that on your own. You're supposed to have a clock. You're supposed to be able to feel that.
At least on the out-of-bounds flop that he at least had that interview on that, and he's like, yeah, I did feel kind of bad about that one. However,
but he does it every game.
I was going to say, that's just because he got called on it and he got asked on it. So.
Well, yeah, because I think Troy Aikman was a bit at that point, too. He sounded fed up with it. Like, it's like, dude, we are watching this. And you can't tell me that this isn't very apparent that this is happening and we're seeing it and we are not stupid people that are watching this. We don't want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. Sorry, Swifties. I am not a Swiftie. I am not that demographic. She's a lovely person, I'm sure. I don't care for her music, nor do I want to see her fake reactions to Kelsey getting a touchdown or a catch. Like, for God's sakes.
There's nothing you like about the Chiefs, and that's what makes it so fun.
And that's what makes it worse. But what made it worse is, Mahomes is like, it's NBA flopping. Like, I'm not completely opposed to NBA flopping because sometimes it benefits them, and they're playing both sides. And it's not supposed to be a contact sport. Like, NBA is not a contact sport, not a full-on body contact like this. Now, NFL is a full-on body contact. Like, you are going to get, some defenders are not right. They're like boxers. They're not right in the head. You're going to get someone who chooses violence, and they are going to make it where they take him out, where they're going to say, you know what, if I'm going to get penalized and fined, I'm going to make sure he don't come back in this game.
Right.
I'll make it so we'll neutralize this and make it even. I'll take him out so we can't have those favorable calls continuing throughout the game.
Yeah.
And the fake ankle injury every time. Oh, my ankle. And then, all of a sudden I'm not limping and this. It's like, dude, how much steroids did you get pumped into your freaking ankle? Like,
see, I just love when Kansas City keeps winning because it just keeps you emotionally high and it keeps the soap opera going.
So frustrating. Like, and it would be like, I didn't even get this bothered when the Patriots won that many. Like, and there were calls that favored Tom Brady, but they were not like this. Like the tuck rule, that one was probably the worst one. That's why you have that tuck rule, because it was on TV. And I just don't understand.
It'll be fun to see. At least everybody's calling the attention to it. So we'll see if it gets any better or worse. But it was pretty blatant last week, like you said, with Troy Aikman, and everybody's like, "Oh, come on!" Like,
and the way he said it too, it was like, "Come on, that's
He's like, "What do you want?"
He slides, they don't even touch him. He goes, "I could not," and he has to hold his breath. Disagree more with that. Because it was
all right. Well,
pretty blatant.
We got our picks in, and it'll be a fun week this week. We've got our one prop each. We've got a couple of over-unders and a couple of pick'ems, and we'll see what next week brings.
Yeah, and then after that, we'll start having to do, dare I say it, basketball.
Basketball. You're going to have to teach me NBA. No, I got college.
I think NBA, our best bet, like you said, is start doing the players and individual stats. It's so hard to end the regular season, in my opinion, because you don't know when the star's taking off. Sometimes you don't know, and one player affects that game so much more than any other sport.
True. I like the props. The only time I don't like the props is these guys get hurt, right? And then you're just like, he just tweaked his knee, and he's not going to get his 32 points because he tweaked it in the first period.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard thing. Like, are they going to have a good game? Are they going to be off shooting? That type of thing. So, all right. Exactly. Well, those are our picks.
Hey, my friend.
And go Bills. The world is rooting for you this weekend.
Yeah. Hopefully I feel better next week.
Yes. Take care of your man flu.